Who? Iris or Jan? Okay, hi, I'm Jan, and I got my little T-shirt on. So we're Earth Guardian Salt Spring Island, which is an island off the coast of Vancouver Island, which is also where I live. And my grandkids are Earth Guardians, and I am too. And then my husband kind of jumped on last week because he's part of Bioneers. He's on the staff and is a youth coordinator and helped bring Earth Guardians there in 2014. And well, I'm my age, you can guess. Well, I am actually 69 years old, but I'm very young, so it's like youthful. I feel like I'm in my 20s, but that's good. So I'm here because I care about the environment, especially the weather at this point, climate change. And we became friends with Earth Guardians, and I just admire so much what they do, and we got to meet Aiden, and I actually have told Aiden this, and of course she's just gotten me Swetley and Tamara and everything. I learned more about what was happening with climate change this last year and a half than I did for a decade before, because I feel that Earth Guardians has so much of the there's so much knowledge and power and excitement that it's a great forum. And so I love the youth, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys are up to. So there you go.
Thanks, Jan.
Hi, Jan. We love you.
Hey, Julia. Turn on your camera.
Hey, hi, Sarah. How are you? Hi. Love you too.
What's up?
Hey.
Hi, Nancy, and I see you.
I see you. Hi, granddaughter. Where's my granddaughter? Where is she? Mwah.
Okay. Cool. So, great. We were just doing introductions. So, yeah, we're just basically saying our name, where we're from, and how old we are, and something that pumps us up and empowers us. So, I'll go. I'm Aiden. I'm 21 years old, and I'm from Phoenicia, New York, and I am the co-director of Earth Guardians New York, based out of Woodstock, and the crew coordinator with Earth Guardians. And something that really pumps me up is listening to music and running at the same time. Like that, I just get ready for the world when I do that, so it's really fun. Or like running through the woods while hiking and like jumping off of rocks. That's always a great way to like reconnect. Yeah, and then also just like connecting with amazing individuals like you guys all the time. That's always empowering. Yeah, so that's me. Who wants to go next?
Jonathan will go next.
Okay, go for it. Oh, and one housekeeping thing. When you're not talking, if you could mute yourself so we avoid unnecessary feedback. Thanks.
My name is Jonathan. I'm from Ontario, Canada, although I'm currently in Colorado for the month. If I was to share like exciting like activism news, like organizing that I'm involved in, I was on a call with an organizer named Ara. Yeah, she's French. What's her name? Aurore. On dirait Aurore. Aurore in English. I was on a call with her yesterday, talking about coordinating in Canada the People's Climate Plan, which is in Canada we have a new government that is planning on implementing a national climate strategy next fall, and probably starting in the summer they're going to be doing public consultations, although they haven't said what they will look like. So yeah, we're just going to be working on a bunch of like coalition movement building work to be pushing the government in the right direction for our climate strategy as a country. But we don't really know exactly what it will look like yet. But it's good to be getting started on that. And I also got news about Break Free 2015 in Canada. It's probably going to look like some sort of action on the West Coast, where there's a lot of contention with pipelines and oil tankers and that kind of thing. But again, we're not sure what that's going to look like yet either. And then I'm here with Earth Guardians. I'm doing a Rise Youth for Sustainable Earth activism training in April, and that's kind of the gist. I'm not part of an Earth Guardians crew currently because I barely have enough time to eat food, let alone
Plenty of time to play this now.
yeah. But maybe in the future. But yeah, I'm excited to be on this call and hear what's going on.
That's awesome, Jonathan. I'm so pumped that you're on this call too. And also, Jan is in Salt Spring, on Salt Spring Island, and in Canada. So she might be a good person to be in contact with about those projects. Yeah. Okay.
Where's Salt Spring Island? Is that West Coast?
You're
muted.
Jan.
What? Yeah. Sorry. Jonathan, do you know it?
I think it's West Coast, but I'm not sure.
It's West Coast, off the coast of Vancouver Island, about 35-minute ferry ride. So you're invited. You're welcome to be part of our Salt Spring Earth Guardian.
Very cool. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you finally.
Awesome. So I see that Jim just joined the call, and I just want to let him know that we are doing introductions right now.
Hey there, family.
I'm really glad that you could hop on.
Well, Aiden, it went to spam. Sorry, I just found it in my spam.
Oh, yeah.
So
Sorry
we're
about
okay
that.
now.
Great. I'm glad that you could be here. So
Yeah,
we're just saying
yeah.
our name and
Okay.
and where we're from and something that we're passionate about or that we're working on, something that pumps us up.
Okay, I'm going to send the link over to Izzy, my team member,
Okay,
while you're
great.
doing that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so who would like to introduce themselves next? Shuteska?
Sorry. My name is Shuteska Donahue. 15. In Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. Like a photo on the ground. Beautiful. We just lots of energy in our body, tackling each other all over the place.
I saw photos of the snow in Boulder this morning. In
Yeah, man.
Denver. Yeah.
I don't know. Something that averages me out is Jonathan's face and waffles for sure. But honestly, that inspires me to protect the world. Because that's another reason to fight.
Climate justice waffles.
Waffles, I haven't had them in years, my God.
Jim, we'll talk later about this because this is unacceptable. All right. Well, anyways, something that really amps me up is I was just in Seattle the previous weekend. I was with a team. I went there for a really powerful Mexica Aztec New Year ceremony. There were over 200 dancers that were dancing. They were up all night doing ceremony and celebrating the Aztec New Year, Tecpac, which is a year of balance and strength. And that was incredibly powerful for me. So just to be involved in my roots and in my ancestry like that, a sense of culture and a sense of belonging, like that's really important for me. And keeping that alive, like I was talking to the chiefs, some of the elders over there, they're talking about how, like, as indigenous people, our duty is to our people and to this land, to protect the lands around us, like to protect the Puget Sound. Like that was just a simple thing because there's a whole crew of Mexica people out there in Seattle, like protecting the Puget Sound and like standing up against fossil fuels. And, that was just really powerful for me that like there was that kind of understanding amongst that tribe. And then after that, I spent 2 days hanging out with just like some of my best friends, Aji Piper, who's on the Rise Council, and my good friend Ariel Deering, who is not yet aware of these these calls, but should be soon because she just started up her own Earth Guardian crew in Portland, Oregon. We are working on getting Aji one in Seattle, and so I hung out with them, and we had so many incredible conversations. And it's really interesting because we're all in our own world, you know. Aji's in Portland, in Seattle, and in Portland, and I'm here in Colorado. So like we're all like incredibly aware and like know about all these problems and are very excited about them, but sometimes we feel a lot of isolation. Like we're the only person in the world that actually gives a damn. That's like really hard for us. So when we come together, like that's probably the biggest thing that kind of gives me enough energy to make it through the next chunk of things that I got to do. Is being with those kind of people. When I was in New York with Aiden and Rachel and Victoria Barrett, who's on the Rise Council and who's going to be starting her own recording crew out there. Like when I'm with my friends and the people that I love and care about the most, and can really have the kind of conversations that are really important for keeping me down. Like, what do you think are the most important issues of our time? Like, what can we talk about to make them solutions? How do we get them into the mainstream? Like, asking ourselves these kind of questions, and like, that was just really powerful for me, and it's always just such an inspiration for me to get involved in that way. So, there we go. That's what I am, along with waffles and
Yeah. And I think that that's one of the best parts about these calls is that in that same way where when you finally link up with the people that your friends that are all across the country and you get together and you realize that you aren't alone, this is kind of we're trying to serve a similar purpose with these calls with the Earth Guardians Network and really show each other and the world that we're united and that we're connected and that we're working together to create the solutions that we want to see in the world. So let's continue with our introductions, and then we can start talking about some actions and stuff that we can do together as the Earth Guardians Network. So who would like to introduce themselves? Who hasn't yet?
I'll go. I'm Katie Cassidy. So I live in Jersey. I'm on the Environmental Advisory Committee in my town, which is nice but frustrating because the committee actually isn't allowed to do anything without being explicitly asked to do something. So not to mention there's only 3 members and we're supposed to have 9. So I've been kind of doing the best I can to sort of, get the town council and the mayor to start appointing people to this committee and other committees and everything like that. But the more that I get involved, the more that I realize that I'm the only one involved. It's like me and like 3 or 4 other people from town. And my town Parsippany is really big in terms of land mass, but we're also pretty dense. And we have the potential to do something really good. So I feel like what gets me pumped up is politics. I majored in politics. I'm 23. I have my bachelor's in political science. And so I'm like trying to turn Parsippany on its head to become this sustainable, forward-thinking place that is going to be the kickoff for the town. For the state. Because New Jersey, first of all, I couldn't even find an Earth Guardians crew in New Jersey. So, I'm not on a crew right now, but I, want to be involved. But at the same time, I'm, going to all these meetings and everything, so I don't really have much spare time at all. But the one thing that I can say that my town has done really well is we wrote an ordinance banning all pipelines within our town. And you're the first, I think, in the state to do that. But then apparently some people were saying that might not be a strong enough ordinance. So we just passed another one that's very specific because the Pilgrim Pipeline was supposed to come through our town. And so that's
awesome. It's so crazy because we're also dealing with the Pilgrim Pipeline in my community. So we should definitely connect on that.
Yeah, because I know it starts in New York, and then if New York says, it's okay, it can move on, then they come to New Jersey and they fight it. And we've actually got 15 to 20 different municipalities who are saying, look, we'll split the legal costs with you if your ordinance is the last ordinance standing. We'll help you fight it. So, you know, there is progress, but it's like baby steps. And so, you know, I've got these visions and these dreams of, you know, coming up with a new type of asphalt or a new way of paving that's not going to have so much greenhouse gases, this, that, and the other thing. And I have all these ideas. And what it's come down to is essentially I'm going to do everything I can to try to run for mayor of this town. Because I feel like that's the only position that is actually, like, holding any power right now. So that won't be till next November, not this November, next November. But I'm already thinking to try to, you know, see what I can do. But I just, like, I've made a decision that I'm not going to have children because I don't feel like it's fair to bring somebody into this world when I know that it's in such dire straits at this point in time. I mean, I've some random kid that doesn't have, like, family or whatever, but, like, I won't bring somebody into this world until I know that I have fixed it, or at least put it on the track towards being healthier. And so, yeah, politics, the environment, that's what amps me up.
That's awesome. Yeah, in New York, I think it's something like 27 out of 30 municipalities that the pipeline passes through, the Pilgrim Pipeline, passed ordinances saying that they were not going to allow it, which is really exciting. Also, so I have a feeling that pipeline won't happen, hopefully. But have you heard of STARS, the Sustainability Tracking and Assessment Rating System? You can use it for municipalities, and basically it's a way to track your town or cities or schools carbon impact and how you're decreasing, and then, like, you can move up in rank and get eligible for grants as a municipality and all that stuff. Cool. So, all right, who would like to go next? Let's keep these moving.
Well, I'll go.
Great.
That's me. I'm Jim, known also as Homie Jim Barnes. I'm in New Zealand. I'm probably the youngest one here, I'm sure. But Izzy is coming on, our team member, team leader, Izzy Salmon will be on soon. I think she just finally got the link. So we're in New Zealand, but we had a rain day today. You know, in Colorado, you've got a snow day. Well, today we had a rain day. It rained so hard all night long, there was flooding here. So I'm out of school. So that enabled me actually I'm in school, but no students. So what is my passion? Certainly is working with young people. It always has been. I've been a teacher for about 30 years, originally from Oregon. So it's really exciting when Chetescott was in Eugene for that case, you know, because I grew up in Florence on the coast. Following that, lived and taught for a few years in Crestone, Colorado, and so no Boulder in those areas well. But so my passion certainly is the earth. I mean, I've been in it since, you know, being what I disdainmely get called the baby boomer business. But we've been in it since certainly the 60s when I was a teenager, like there's many of you. And so, you know, you sort of get jaded. We got jaded, many of us, from those eras, especially after they killed Robert Kennedy, who I campaigned for in those years. And, you know, we thought, well, it's not going to work. But gradually, suddenly, we got more involved in some things, and the real passion occurred when somebody randomly posted Kid Warrior on my Facebook page. And I said, who is this kid with that hair? And, you know, then things started rolling, and I realized, there it is. Then things started rolling, and I realized, my God, there's all these people, all these young people all over the place. So in many ways, the passion now has become the excitement to see so many young people involved. And after we had our introductory meeting, and you probably have seen the post that Chetescott put a introductory video out for the school assembly, so we had all 360 kids watching that, and we've got 23 kids now. This school only has 360 kids in it, so 23 committed, on-fire young people And we just had a meeting yesterday, and the most exciting thing to see is these kids are so committed, and they have these ideas, and a couple of the really younger ones, one kid, his father does alternative energy and micro hydro. They're running totally off the grid and everything, and he's going to have his dad come in, and we'll go out to their place. And there's so many fantastic ideas that are happening, and the kids are on fire, and that is beautiful. And my own personal passion, poetry, writing, and following as much music possibilities as I can. And so, yeah, this is great. Yeah. And New Zealand, it's been referred to often as clean and green. In many ways it's not. In many ways it is. Obviously, we have some benefits that America doesn't. Like one expatriate friend of mine says, he's originally from Michigan and he's been here about 30 years, but he says, in New Zealand democracy can work, in America it can't. Well, that's his background because of his experience, but it's just that we're small enough to where when people try to make a point, people can hear, because it is smaller. Yeah. Okay, I talked enough.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I think democracy could work in America. We just gotta work very hard.
That's right. Yeah.
Democracy work?
Yeah.
What's that, Shataska?
This is a call, not about politics. I'll leave that outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so in interest of time, we have about an hour left, and I definitely want to get to some of the, talking about what actions we want to do, and talking about Protect Our Future and the spring campaign, Protect Our Earth. But I want to hear an introduction from everybody so we know who's here. So if we could just kind of quick say who you are, where you're from, and just maybe a sentence or two about what you're doing or what you're passionate about.
Yeah, don't talk as much as Jim.
Oh, no. I enjoyed hearing all of your stories, but limited time. Sometime we'll just go on a call to chat and tell our stories, because that's really powerful too, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna actually go down the list and call on the people who haven't talked yet, and then if you're not ready, I'll move on to someone else. And Chap, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Chap. I'm 14 and home educated from Brecon in Wales, and I just a few days ago started Earth Guardians Paris, which has one member.
Yay!
The thing that really gets me pumped up is the fact that there are other people doing the same thing as I am. It seems like it can be a bit of a heavy task doing all of this stuff, but knowing that there are other people doing it at the same time can be quite inspiring. So everything that all of you are doing.
Yes, Chap, I feel you on that.
Yes.
It's definitely my main motivator is the incredible people that I get to work with every day. All you guys. Okay, Iris, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Iris Fenn-Gillingham. I'm 16. I live on an off-the-grid farm in the Catskill Mountains of New York.
Wow.
And I am co-director of Earth Guardians Sylvan County, and I'm on the Rising Youth for a Sustainable Earth Youth Council with Aiden, Jonathan, and Shutescott. And what really gets me excited is my friends and just being able to work with my friends, especially my Rise friends, because they are the coolest friends that you could have. But just working with other young people who like to share their voice in the world.
Yay. Iris has been on every single call that we've ever had. And so shout out to her. She's awesome.
Yay, Iris.
Okay, so Izzy, would you like to go?
Yes, okay. My name is Izzy Sandman, and I'm part of the Earth Guardians Golden Bay and New Zealand crew with Jim Barnes. We excitingly now have 23 members, was it? That's so cool.
Woohoo! That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in New Zealand, sort of in the hills a little bit around Golden Bay, and we're also off the grid. We have solar panels, which our batteries aren't really working at the moment, so everything's sort of going off in the fridge. And we have a hydro power station as well. Yeah, so when Jim put in the notices and the Earth Guardians thing, I was really, really interested because I've always wanted to sort of do things for the Earth and for especially the animals and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, this is my chance. And then I heard Jessica speaking, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so inspired. I was like, finally. And I like all of you, I realized that there's like other people out there who have the same beliefs and the same energy and goals and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just really inspiring for me, and having a huge team of people that are willing to listen to my ideas and their other crew members' ideas and stuff, and we can all work together and yeah, help this Earth. So I'm really, really excited for this stuff, and I'm really glad to be part of this call. So thanks, guys.
Can you turn on your video, Izzy?
Oh, I have it on, but
Really?
I think you
yes,
have to
I
press
do.
start video.
Yeah, you have to press the start. I figured that one out.
Yeah, I did, but I'll try again.
Okay.
Start my video. Is that it there? Is it coming up?
Not yet.
But,
Okay.
well, thank
Maybe
you so
my,
much for coming on. It's really exciting.
That's all right.
I just love hearing how everybody wants to be connected, and then when we do finally come together and find that connection and start working together and realize that we're not alone, that's probably like one of the most powerful things that could happen, and probably going to be one of the most important parts of being successful in this movement is that connectivity. Alright, so let's keep moving. And Kaya and Ariane, could you introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Kaya, and this is my mom, Ariana. I'm 11, and I don't know if she wants me to reveal her age. I'm 40.
So young.
And yesterday, right? Yesterday, we got a really cool Earth Guardian banner for Pennsylvania, actually, now that we're also running Pennsylvania.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. We got like business cards and stuff like that. Yeah, so we're going to use the banner for our table at the Sustainable Living Expo sometime soon here in April, actually. Hopefully that's going to be pretty cool, and I'm hoping to set up a group call like this one for Earth Guardians Pennsylvania and or Bucks County, and get a lot more members because it's basically me right now. So
yep, I'm the mama behind the scenes for the grant funding and things like that to try and make these things happen. Looking forward to creating an email list at the upcoming event and starting to get people motivated and more involved locally, as well as organize the Pennsylvania state also. Hopefully turn over some of that grant funding into organizing calls like this and other things that we need financially. Things cost money sometimes. Fund the Skype calls, and because I know you paid for this service, Aiden, and things like that. So we look forward to turning over some of the income we make, or the profit we make from selling T-shirts to facilitate the Skype calls and getting an actual website domain for the state and things like that. So
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I would definitely love to talk to you guys about how I set up these calls, and that's really exciting. It sounds like you guys are getting out there, and I love what you're doing. And I think that's going to be a really, you guys are definitely setting up a great example for other crews who want to take on whole regions. I love the idea of doing a regional call like that and having the crew members facilitate it. Okay, so next, Kelly, could you introduce yourself? I don't know if she heard me, but...
Are you there?
Yep.
Oh, I couldn't find the mute button. Hi, this is Kelly Brett. I am calling from the Earth Guardians Texas crew. Hello.
Hello.
What am I passionate about? My children. My daughter's 19, my son is 14. We're still getting our feet under us on the Texas crew. So many things that inspire so many different directions, trying to get it, coordinated and simplified. Another thing that I'm passionate about is ceremony. We also do ceremony. So kind of to speak to Chutescott's Aztec New Year, congratulations and thank you for the dance and the ceremony. We have a Sundance coming up in June, and I dance for my children. And the prayer for me is, help me heal what I need to heal so they don't have to carry it forward. And I think it ties very strongly into what's going on here with the Earth Guardians group. I also like the idea, there's a principle in nature, I don't know if it's biomimicry or, I can't think of the other one, but it's optimize versus maximize. We've talked about this in like Bioneers and some of the Pachamama work that I've done. It's tag on to something that's already in place that's very effective, coordinated efforts. You don't have to start over and reinvent the wheel. That's why I love the Earth Guardians. It's very much in line with what I've done before, and it ties together some of the various pieces that I want to support and integrate with, so I don't feel so isolated or on my own. You know, even though we might be in the field doing it by ourselves once in a while, we still have that group support, and that's incredibly powerful and I think incredibly important. I'm 40, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but one of the other things, the last thing I'll say is, I've been really catching up on the legal aspect, all of the suits that have been filed, and that's very promising for me. It keeps me hopeful, and it keeps me motivated and engaged in the forward momentum. But I also, for myself, one of the things I work with people on is empowerment, and I think habits. I see habits as the other side of this issue, personal habits. Like the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce is going to be the first one that I'm focusing on. And each of our Texas crew members are picking kind of a platform. Like my son, Josh, is getting stuff together for social justice issues and things that he's moving forward on that. My daughter, her idea is music as medicine. She's an artist as well. So for me, it's habits. It's the daily things that we do, reduce our dependency, reduce our usage, starting with that, and then what's left from there, reuse, and then from there recycle. So I think that's no small task for any of us, you know, but that's kind of what motivates me and inspires me. I hope that makes sense. Miss Aiden, you're doing a fabulous job. Thank you, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Kelly.
Yes.
Tell Rachel we miss her singing introduction.
Oh, I know. She couldn't make it on this call. I miss facilitating with her. She's always, like, brings so much awesome energy to everything. So
You're
but
doing
yeah,
great. Thank you for doing this. Mm-hmm.
It's like the biggest pleasure for me, hearing that everyone's wanting to connect. And I mean, I've heard the same theme with everyone, is that we work better when we're connected. And I've been feeling that ever since I was 15, when I first became an activist in my high school. I was the only one, and it was like, wow, I can't do anything. I'm totally burnt out. Nobody cares. I'm angry. I'm not going to get anything done. And then you just disengage. And so that's why we're having these calls and trying to find other ways that we can be connected outside of these calls too.
These are very helpful. It does keep the engaged and forward momentum. All right, muting now.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see the stuff that's going to come out of your crew. It sounds like you guys are up to some really important stuff.
Oh, the recycled project, the trash moms. Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna be good.
That's awesome. Which is a great transition. Russell was on, but he just dropped off because of the crazy weather in Boulder. He has no power again. But yeah, so we can transition now into talking about Protect Our Future. And so a lot of you have been on the calls before, and on the last one we talked a little bit about Protect Our Future, but this time I'd really like to collaborate and see how we can all work together in Global Days of Action. Like, we'll be having a tree planting Global Day of Action, but we can do more than that. We could do on the last call, we talked about doing global art projects, like a day where all Earth Guardian crews are out there doing global art projects, like painting murals in their towns and creating art that reflects our love for the Earth, or, you know, whatever your crew is facing in your community. We also came up with maybe the idea of like creating a global song. I was like, oh, it's kind of similar to We Are the Children, where it's like, or We Are the World. We are the world, we are the children. Like that sort of like collaborative song where Earth Guardians all over are recording. And Eric, who's not on this call but was on the previous one, said that there's stuff online where you can do that, so I'm going to do a little research because I thought that would be really interesting, and music is such a powerful tool. So yeah, I have a feeling that everyone knows about Protect Our Future, but just to do a little recap, it's the unifying project of Earth Guardians. There's 4 campaigns throughout the year. For the next 3 months, we're focusing on protecting our Earth. Then we protect our water in the summer, or in the winter, depending on where you are, if you're in the northern or southern hemisphere. Then protect our air and protect our climate. So for each of those campaigns, we're focusing on the specific aspect, whether it be water or earth or air or climate. But we're all looking at it together, and it's fascinating because we're kind of like a bicycle wheel where we're all looking at the different spokes of what's happening in our communities and what's happening in our world. But then when we come together in that wheel, we work better than if the spokes are missing. So we basically are trying to think globally while acting locally. And then we're acting globally together when we work on the same days or in the same time periods. And I think that's a powerful way to create more ripples.
There's Izzy. Cool.
Yeah, so that's Protect Our Future. And this campaign, we're focusing specifically on soil building. And in the email that I sent out with the link to this call, I shared I shared 2 different packets. One is the project ideas list, where the Earth Guardians team has just been compiling all of these different ideas for Protect Our Future, and specifically looking at each campaign and things that crews could do in their own communities. So I'm going to screen share so we can look at it, and I can just show you guys a little bit of what we already have, and then I would love to hear some things that you're thinking about. Maybe you've already started looking at what you want to do in your community, or have an idea for a global project that we could all do together.
Cool.
So just 1 second and I will screen share. And let me know if for some reason you can't see my screen. Can you guys see my screen by any chance?
It's loading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Great. All right, let me just, I had it up and then. So I sent out a welcome letter. It's basically just goes into a further description of what Protect Our Future is, and looks at each campaign as what we've done in the past, and then what questions we can ask ourselves when we're trying to think about what we want to do in our own communities. And then it goes through each campaign, and then we give some tips for things to keep in mind, and some fundraising ideas and ways to build your project. And don't forget to be thankful to your partners that you work on, because it's important to have strategic partners during campaigns like this.
Great.
Yeah, so here's our project ideas list, and again, it just goes into some useful tips, and then it goes into event ideas and breaks it down for each one. So right now we can just look specifically at protecting our Earth. So since 2014, and possibly before that, Scott can verify, I'm not positive how many years in a row, but Earth Guardians have done global tree plantings where they've planted tens of thousands of trees in something like 40 countries last year, and have done a lot of other cool events. So we're definitely going to continue planting trees because that's always powerful. The average tree sequesters or stores, I think it's something like I'll find the actual statistics in one sec, but then this year we're specifically looking at soil building and how we can use soil building and the creation of healthy soil as a way to pull carbon out of the atmosphere. And we'll be hosting carbon sequestration events and challenges. We're going to have a challenge where you can actually track your community's amount of carbon stored by testing your soil for carbon. And then the Boulder Crew, this is a really great example of something that you can do in your community. It is called Soil for Life, and this kind of transcends Protect Our Earth a little bit because it is longer. It's going to take more time for them to accomplish the goals that they're doing past the 3 months. But any crew can make this decision because, while we're focusing on these specific campaigns for the allotted months, we still have to understand that it's all connected, and that our work doesn't just end when it switches from Protect Our Earth to Protect Our Water, because water and earth are absolutely connected and you can't have one without the other. So if you want to read up about Protect Our Soil and what the Boulder Crew is doing, the link is in the packet, and this is the pitch, and it's pretty long and very detailed, so it's a great place to draw great information. Yeah, they're going to create healthy soil by using a lot of different tools, such as community art and music, creating biochar, which is a basically you create a carbon sink by taking old more organic material and burning it in high heat but low oxygen, so it's not really burning, it's creating a char type of material, and that when you put that in the soil, it creates more plant life, so more carbon is getting sucked out of the atmosphere. They're also doing agroforestry, municipal compost, biointensive gardens, rotational grazing. Like, there's so many aspects to this project. So you can create something similar for your community, or take, if you don't want to have as big of a commitment, you could take parts of it. But first, it's important to look at what your community needs and the steps that you need to take in order to address it. So, but we will be having a carbon sequestration challenge, and here's a resource that's also in the package in the project ideas list that just basically goes over what that is. But yeah, we've got so many ideas. You can create a climate victory garden, which is based off of the victory garden that people were planting after World War II, I believe. And basically what this is planting plants together that are that complement each other, and when they grow together, they pull carbon out of the atmosphere, similar to the way soil does, but it's through the plants. And I'm sure that if you infused the two, creating healthy soil and planting these plants that specifically are very good at pulling carbon out of the atmosphere, that could be really a great project. Reclaimed wood art projects, music events, art events, permaculture, foraging, camping, backpacking, education, spring cleanups, beach cleanups. You can walk around with your crew and pick up trash. You could create a project out of recycled materials. Kelly in Texas is doing something similar with her crew. Biomimicry is a great thing to look at, how we as humans can mimic the way nature already works. And nature has already found out the most efficient way to use its energy. So we can learn from that, and we can learn from the way certain animals store their water or store their energy, for example. So basically, the ideas that we can have end where our imagination ends. The projects that we can do all over the world are infinite as long as we keep our minds open. So yeah, when we were talking earlier about the projects that we wanted to partner with, when we were talking earlier on the last call about the things that we thought would be cool for Earth Guardians all over the place to collaborate on. I mentioned earlier global art projects and a global song that we write together. And I want to hear what you guys have to say and what you think and what you want to see Earth Guardians do. So yeah, think globally while acting locally. Like, how can we do that on specific days where we're all unified? Does anyone have any ideas?
Hey, Aiden.
Hi, Wei. You're on.
Hi. Hi, Iris. Hi, Jim. Hi, everyone. I have an idea, actually.
Yeah.
I had this in mind quite a while, but so I was thinking, since most of the Earth Guardians know some kind of art and music and stuff like this, and I'm thinking how about every Earth Guardian, maybe we make one song and every Earth Guardian just contributes a musical instrument, or they contribute a lyric or something, and then we all form this amazing song, and then we bring a message out globally, like not just fixed to one place, but just globally, because it's from all of us to the entire world.
Yeah, good idea.
That. And you know what's really interesting? Chap on the last call said,
I think it was Eric.
Or Eric, yeah. Someone was on the exact same page as you. So it's really cool to see that.
You must be a mind reader or something.
Hey, Eden, did you ever hear of Playing for Change?
No.
Yes. They have some excellent videos doing that very thing.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or look more about what their format is for doing stuff like that, what sort of platform they might use for that type of collaboration, because that's a really, really great idea, and there might be some tips in what they're doing that we could utilize.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also know that my Earth Guardians friend and partner, Aaron Abelman, is doing something similar, and I actually noticed that Rachel just got on the call. Rachel, could you, isn't Aaron doing something like that?
Yeah, hi everybody.
Hi Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, and I'll see if I can find it after I tell a little about it, but Aaron Abelman did a song. He's working on a project this spring with Forest Nation, and it's a tree planting project, and he did a song about that and sent it. It went out once it went out. I think it was pretty quick. People started to record the song. So it started in Africa. One community they remixed the song and they added their voices to it. And I think it's happened several times where the same song has been reinterpreted by different communities, and it's still going.
That's
it's
awesome.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
so we
it
could,
is. I've seen that. Yeah.
We could look at that and draw from that as well. And if any of you want to get involved and rewrite that song or re-record that song in your community, we'll make that link available to you. But I also think having a Earth Guardian song would be awesome. Hey, I'm wondering, Shuteska, what do you think about that as like the Earth Guardians music guy?
The music guy, come on.
The eco hip hop artist.
Well, what?
Conscious hip hop. What?
What about hip hop?
Oh, we're talking about the idea of doing a global Earth Guardian song where we all collaborate on creating a song kind of similar to, like in my mind, this is what I equate it to, like We Are the World type song where like people from all over the world sing a song together and we like piece together these pieces from crews all over the world. Yeah, and so we were just like collaborating on different ways that we could have a unifying global action, or a couple of them throughout this particular Earth season.
Yeah, it could be dope. I don't know, I guess somebody would have to write. It depends. I think overall it could be really cool to do some kind of Earth Guardian song. Yeah, logistically, it would be pretty easy if somebody laid down a beat and just get the rest of the world. I don't know. It depends on what people wanted to do with it. I feel like we got talented artists all over the place, so it could definitely be a really awesome idea to cool. Sure.
If we had like some sort of tune, then maybe each person could write a few lines about maybe their country or situation, or maybe a verse or something, and you put them all together and you got this big anthem for us.
Yeah. Oh my
What
gosh.
would be cooler
that could
than
be
everybody
so
writing their own verse, because that could be like 700 verses for 700 crews. Like, everybody wants to be involved, you know? Like, what could be cool is doing something really bottom line that could be really simple, like, together as a global community writing a chorus that everybody can sing.
Yeah.
And the homies and wherever in the world can, like, sing that, but
shift it to whatever flavor that they have in their community. So, or whatever instruments they have in that community, like add that to the chorus, and like I think that could be cool. It would be probably easier, I think, than doing.
And I like.
And then if we had a video, if everybody sent in a clip of their video, it could be edited.
And it wouldn't even necessarily need to all be videos of people like singing or doing something musical. It could be just, you know, clips of something beautiful in nature, because, you know, that's kind of, I feel like, something that everybody's going to, you know, see, and it's going to hit them also.
Yeah.
And even perhaps
working on the project.
With Izzy's idea about maybe not a whole verse, but even a line, a phrase added in between the chorus, yeah.
Or you could, you know, like have a song where you get to each crew gets to like change the last word to fit into their community, like something they're fighting or something they're working on, a project, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this would be the coolest thing.
And it would be really cool if we could get some people if we had a regular verse, and then, you know, wherever the crews are, they could translate it into their own language.
That could be so dope. That would be so sick.
Yeah. Put it into Kiwi. Yeah.
I was just going to add that during the last election in Canada, some public servant wrote a song called Hyperman that kind of went viral and like had communities across Canada recording their own versions. And so he wrote a bunch of verses, but when I was at the rally in Kingston, Ontario, somebody had also written verses that were like specifically related to Kingston. And the moment was just really cool, and it was cool to hear the same song like echoed in different places across the country. So I think it has potential. I think it sounds cool.
Yeah.
That they did with Don't Crack My Mother, so they basically put out the song, but then gave everybody the opportunity to record themselves recording a component of that, and then pieced it all back together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there you go, Chantel Scott. It's time for you to write the first verse and then send it out, and then, you know, you could like hook it up and then just put it out and let us all play in our own little land.
Lay down a beat, man.
Lay it down, brother. Lay it down.
Yeah.
Chogi will drop some guitar riffs.
We could start right now.
One of the things that we're doing in our community is I live in Woodstock, New York. Aiden's here too. And also actually Iris is right near the original site of the Woodstock Festival, so we're kind of connected. We just have one mountain between us. But one of the things we're doing here, because we have so many musicians and artists here and recording studios at our disposal, we are going to do a songwriting into action workshop with our crew, and basically we have like a couple of topics that we want to touch on, like some of the different pipelines, and then just sort of like put it to the kids and then start to build. But we have songwriters. John Sebastian lives in this town, and there's all these amazing artists. So in our community, we're going to pull together for that, to like, you know, to get some songs together. And some kids sing, like I'm seeing on this list, people are like, I don't sing that well. That's cool. You just add some lyrics or some, you know, maybe you can beat a drum, or maybe when it's time for the chorus and everyone gets together, you can be part of a bigger voice. But we're really excited to start working on that. We have the Pilgrim Pipeline, which is coming in not too far from the Algonquin Pipeline, the Constitution Pipeline, the Dominion Pipeline. It's a song. I'm dying to write it, but I'm trying to wait for our kids to get together so we can write it together. But, you know, there's so many of these things that are happening in our communities that's fodder for music. And for us, it's like, wow, the Pilgrims are coming to exercise their dominion over the Algonquin Native people and then write their constitution and fossil fuel. It's a song.
Yeah, I can't wait to write that with you, Rach.
I'm on a conference call, so it's okay.
Yeah, so I really love this idea, and I think it's possible. But I also wonder if we might want to, we'll have to collaborate a little bit more and see how it would work out logistically. Shutescott, would you be interested in maybe like writing up a first verse?
I'm down. I'm game.
Cool.
Yep.
So that will be the first step, and then I guess you can contact me or Rachel, or me or Rachel. Shutescott gets a lot of emails probably, so he might not get back to you as soon. But so we could be the point people on this. Rachel, if you're down, like just send us ideas.
Of course I'm down. Are you kidding?
Send us ideas that you have, and we'll help connect and get this going, because I think that this could be really, really powerful. Music is something that transcends, all religions, races. Everyone's got music in some way.
Absolutely.
And I also really love the idea of like translating the song or the chorus or whatever into our own languages. So, because that again shows that we are a global network, that we have.
Yeah, Aiden, I don't know if you were watching the message board, but I had mentioned I'm nowhere near fluent, but I took 3 courses in American Sign Language, and I know American Sign Language is just one type of sign language. But I think that if you wouldn't necessarily need you could just cut that video over or whatever. Because I think that's important. I think that's a whole other sector of the population who definitely is, interested in this kind of stuff and isn't often recognized.
Yeah. Totally.
Because not everybody signs.
I love that. So this could be a really, really inclusive project.
I was just recently at a concert, and the sign artist, it was truly an artist. Watching her sign, the music that was playing was better than watching the band.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, dancing. There has to be dancing, by all means. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in New Zealand, we've got the waiata, which is the Māori song and dance. When they sing a song that goes with the dance, and the haka and stuff would be quite interesting.
So
absolutely, yeah.
Maybe
that would be awesome.
Maybe we could each film certain things in our communities, and then we'll just all add it together in a video. With the song,
I think it would be really powerful.
Over.
Yeah. This is gonna be so cool.
Yay! See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the point of these calls right here. Is beautiful things can come out of it,
That's right.
We're gonna create a global song. It's gonna be awesome.
Cool.
I'm so excited about this. It sounds really dope, actually, and I'm gonna get working on it. I'm downloading some really, really sick new music software. Kudos to Jonathan, and it's going to be done very illegally, but it's for a good cause, because we're going to build the dopest international tracks that there is on Earth.
That's right, civil disobedience, yep.
You know it, man. We're monkey jacking the system as it goes. But I'm actually super stoked about this, and also music video would be so fun. I'm going on a global tour as it is with this project that I'm doing called Kid Warriors, so it'll be dope to kind of be in all these places and connect with these communities and see translation, I'm super stoked. Sign language, stoked about that. We got to split. I have an appointment to get to, but I love y'all. Thank you guys for coming on this call. Let's connect in person after this too. Not in person, but personally, just you and I, because we got to talk about Rise stuff. And
I'm in on that. I'm in on that conversation.
Rachel, you're there too.
Nice.
I love you all. Good to see you guys. You guys are all beautiful, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.
See you guys soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you
soon.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited about this idea, and I think that this could even go farther than Protect Our Earth. This could be the Protect Our Future / Earth Guardians freaking theme song or something. It could be our anthem that we all collaborate on together. And like that gives me shivers. So yeah, that's really cool. But then, so okay, we'll wait. I'll connect with Shutescott about his verse, see when he'll get that sent out, and then I'll send it out to everyone. And I'll also send out these notes and do a little research on like previous things that have been, or similar things that have been done in the past that we can use to create this. But then, yeah, for Protect Our Earth, again, we'll be doing like global tree planting events, and if it's maybe not tree planting season in your area, then maybe an educational event or an art event. But I really love the idea also of doing a International Day of Mural Painting or something like that. Because,
yeah, well, in our area and actually in our school, we have Project Janssen, because in New Zealand a lot of native bush has been taken out and stuff, and that's quite important to New Zealanders, restoring the native bush. And at the moment in Abel Tasman National Park, which is a national park near us, they're restoring a lot of bush because they want to repopulate the area with some birds that used to live there and don't live there anymore because of pests and stuff. So our school is actually involved in quite a lot of planting and things like that. We actually own our own patch in the park for planting trees and everything. The whole school's getting involved. So that's a really cool project. I thought I might just mention that since we're talking about tree planting. It's really
That's
cool.
right. Yeah.
The only thing with mural painting, I know that in my area, that doesn't happen. They don't have space for that. They don't want you doing that kind of stuff. So there's going to be, a good amount of resistance from the, public sector in that regard.
well, maybe we could make it a little looser and turn it into just like an art project, an earth art project, to help raise awareness in the community in some way.
One thing I was thinking about doing myself was like a found sculpture. So like I came back from college and I realized I had enough stuff for 2 bedrooms in my 1 room. And so rather than throw out everything, I'm trying to take what I have and sort of make a sculpture out of it. And so I just brainstormed.
No, that's awesome. We're actually looking at doing something kind of similar here in New York. We were talking about going on a walk around and trying to get donations of people's plastic that they would throw out and then create a rainbow out of it, like a big rainbow. One of our, I think she's 10, she had this vision and she was like, and what if you could actually walk through it? It was like the most beautiful little thing I've ever heard a 10-year-old say.
You probably could, though, if you built it right.
Yeah, so I definitely think the idea of using trash and turning it into art is a great way to engage and protect our earth, because we're keeping stuff out of landfills, and that's a huge problem. We're keeping stuff out of the oceans. We're reducing our waste and creating awareness. So, yeah, that's a really great project. We could all do that. Oh, and I did mention the carbon sequestration challenge, but that's a really great way to get involved, and we'll be offering prizes at the end. So if your crew or your community wants to track your carbon that you pull out of the atmosphere by testing your soil, we can help give you resources on how to do that. And then you track your carbon, and at the end we'll see which are the crews who sequestered the most carbon, and they'll get little Earth Guardians goodie bags.
Fun. Yeah.
So like
I have to go.
CDs.
I need to say goodbye.
Bye,
Thank
Jim.
you.
Thank
It was
you
so
so
fantastic
much.
being here. It's really exciting. Okay.
Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Have a great
See ya.
day.
Izzy's still here. Bye.
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 See ya.
cool. Yeah, so that's, does anyone have any other ideas for like the last 10 minutes that we could talk about? I love that I'm just so excited about the music, the song idea. That's going to be huge. So I think that's definitely a great outcome from this call. And but if you guys have any other ideas that maybe pop up in your head after the call, never hesitate to reach out and send me an email with your ideas, and I can help get it out to the rest of the network, and we can continue to collaborate on projects throughout the next few months. Yeah, but if anyone has any questions or comments or wants to mention anything in these last 10 minutes on the call, now's the time.
Yeah, actually, I'm just sort of curious, what's Earth Guardian's sort of view on like legalizing hemp and everything? Because I've heard all these really cool things about it, about using hemp as fuels and its nitrogen fixing and like all this really cool stuff. And I think that would be really cool to try and globally get that used, because black oil obviously is something that's really damaging our planet. And yeah, and it's causing a lot of wars, and like I just think it's so destructive. Yeah, how can we get hemp out there?
Well, yeah, we don't have a active campaign on that, but I personally agree, and I think that is a great thing to focus on for Protect Our Earth. So if you wanted to share with me some of the resources that you found, I could help.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to do a bit more research. I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but but yeah, I'd like to do more research. And I think definitely raising the awareness, because obviously black oil companies have demonized it and stuff, and it's all marijuana and all this kind of stuff. And because, you know, black oil companies don't want you to stop buying oil.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Izzy. Another reason why in America it's going to be difficult and it will take that shift of, perception is because when the paper industry got started, they realized that hemp was a lot cheaper to make paper out of. So hemp was made illegal because of the paper industry, and then it came out to also be marijuana. So in the United States, technically, a lot of hemp products are not legal to produce. So that's going to also be a legal battle. But it starts with public awareness.
Yeah.
Dealing regarding hemp in America, actually we have two food grade, two hemp, I think in New York we have 2 licenses that have just become available. And from what I understand, there's actually, there's like some agreements between Canada and America where, from what I understand, Canada kind of has the coup on hemp right now, and America has a responsibility to buy a certain, to use as much hemp from Canada. And until we have basically used as much as they can provide, we can't blow up our market. So there's actually some political agreements in place that are making it hard to open up hemp in America.
Yeah, I understand that. I know it's a difficult thing. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think we could start by raising awareness about.
Definitely, I think that'd be the first step. And just showing people what it's really worth. Because I mean, like, like Katie was saying and stuff. It's and like you were saying too, Rachel. Like, it's just so hard. Trying to get something. Yeah, there's marijuana and all this kind of stuff, and all the complications with it, because of course companies, like paper companies, black oil companies, all that kind of stuff, they're going to try really hard to get us to still keep buying oil, because imagine if suddenly we found a super cheap thing, they're just completely out of business.
Right. It destroy the market.
And we're not going to want that. So yeah, exactly. So it's something quite hard. But it would be so good for this earth to have that.
Yeah, and it's actually it's one of those plants that is really good at sequestering carbon out of the atmosphere, and it creates a lot of oxygen. So
like I was saying, like when you get big like maize and corn crops and stuff, like sucks everything out of the soil, but actually like hemp, it makes the soil like more fertile. Like you put some hemp in, I'm saying it's a good pre-crop to other crops. Like you put your hemp in and grow it and stuff, and then when it's taken away, the soil's actually even better because it's nitrogen fixing and all that.
Yeah.
And so then you put your other crop in, and it's really good soil. So that was quite interesting. I'm sorry, I'm not an expert on it, but I've heard a few things that just, sounded really good.
Yeah. Well,
all of that might surprise you is I did some research into it a while ago because I actually wrote an article on it. And actually, hemp isn't related to marijuana. They're in the same family, the cannabis family, but the variety used as hemp isn't actually a drug. It doesn't actually contain that chemical.
It doesn't have the THC, does it?
No. Not at all.
Yeah.
They made all of that up in the 1930s.
Of course.
Yeah, just to make it more difficult for various industries and whatnot. Chap, you're brilliant.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's got a blog, by the way, and he's a really great writer, so you should all check it out. Chap, if you want to maybe post your link to your blog in the conversation so people can see it, that would be really good.
Yeah, I'd be interested to read
And
what you wrote on hemp.
And Chap wrote an article for Way, because, is that how you pronounce it? I think. About the island that they want to build. It's really good. You should check it out.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Chap. You're awesome.
Really, thanks all of you who have actually looked at it, because in the last, I think, 4 days, my website's had more views than it has in the last few months.
That's awesome.
That's so exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, cool. I'd be really interested to look at your website, actually. Yeah. And I'd be interested to read what you wrote on hemp as well. I'm really interested to look into it. Yeah. So if you could post a link somewhere, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, so in the IM area here, the conversation area, it's theawareyouth.com. And he posted the link in there. And
not only does it look awesome at first glance, but great title.
Yeah. So we're coming to the last 5 minutes of the call, but I just want to say that it's been really incredible to watch the direct outcomes of these calls and to see how they are facilitating this connection, because on the last call, Way talked about the island reclamation or the sea reclamation project that is happening in Malaysia right now, where they're trying to build a island in between his and the main island, and it's a dangerous project in many ways. And then he told us about his story and what they're facing, and then a bunch of people on the call gave him advice, and then Chap wrote a article about it, and it was just really cool to watch that progression of connection. And so I think this just more and more is going to come out of this with the song that we can write together, and all of the ideas that are bubbling in this cauldron of stew that we're making to feed the world.
Yeah, we would definitely say, like, if anybody has any problems in their environment, just get it out to this crew call, because I'm sure everybody here would love to help you. That's what I've got so many responses from everybody on this call, and it helped me so much. So I'm sure all of you guys would benefit the same way. Like, just get your problem out there. I'm sure everybody would love to help you. I would love to help you guys too, because you guys have helped me so much.
That's so exciting. I'm really, really excited, because I mentioned it before, and obviously we're all feeling this way, but this has been my goal, like, ever since I got involved in activism, is like create connection between people, young people specifically, all over the world. But the amazing thing about Earth Guardians is that it's intergenerational. So yeah, we get to collaborate with everybody, and we get the youth are important, but we need our elders too. So and everybody in between also, because we all need to work together to be unified. So I'm just really excited that that these calls are helpful and that they are serving their purpose and that they're only going to continue to do so. Yeah, so does anyone have any closing thoughts for our last couple minutes here together for this call?
Well, I just love listening to y'all, and I guess I'm an elder and I don't necessarily feel like one, but I just love what you're saying and how you connect and the visions you have, and I agree. I mean, coming from Bioneers, I really see the power of a group and connection and networking. So I've listened a lot, and what I did think of this idea. What I see it's written is having every group having like a patchwork quilt type thing, like when somebody's having a baby blessing way or whatever, everybody makes a patch. And I think that's what it was saying. Or the flags, I don't know if you remember the flags from Climbing Poetry, and they're beautiful and everybody sends them, and I think Rachel was writing about that, and I think that's a great idea. But I just thank you all. I learn a lot from each of you, and I'm a big talker, but I try not to say too much on these calls because I want to hear what you have to say. So, but I'm with you, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Jan. So we've been doing these calls bi-weekly, but with the RISE training coming up, we're going to be training the RISE Youth Council. That's specific right now to the U.S. and Canada. Or I guess we were also going to reach out to Mexico, but we don't have anybody on from Mexico right now. But so that's going to be taking up a lot of our efforts. So I'm not sure exactly when the next call will be, but it will be probably, it won't be in 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks I'll be in Boulder for this training. So it will be, I guess, in about a month. But we'll be in contact, and we can keep collaborating on our song idea and other awesome ideas. And I want to continue this conversation outside of these calls. So, yeah.
And I'd love to pop in that moment to remind everybody that while it hasn't taken off as a major thing yet, I believe that we can be doing a lot with Ning. I know that we're using Facebook as an amazing way to get our message out to the world, but when it comes to connecting with each other, we're starting to be able to see each other on earthguardians.ning.com. And we will be the ones who turn that into a really vibrant way of communicating with each other offline and getting to see who each other is. And, it's kind of cool to go on there and see only Earth Guardians. Mm-hmm. And, you can still see what's happening on the Facebook page of the main Earth Guardians page, but people can be putting their information there and letting everybody know. And it's a way where if I know that Wei is in trouble and he's, and we're connected in a way where we can actually all put out a bulletin that says, hey, by the way, everybody, Wei needs us to sign this petition right now, or share this video, or whatever that may be. I think we can really use Ning for inter-crew communications. I invite people to try it, and I'll put the website here again.
Oh, good. It's good, yeah.
Yeah, Ning can be a really great resource. But like Rachel said, we just need to post on it, and we're going to be the ones to make it active. So start posting, and let's see what happens. Start getting your crew all on the page. Have each of your members set up a profile if you have an entire crew. If it's just you and your fam, then that's cool too.
So I just have to tell you this. I'm sorry. I just found this back of me. You'll appreciate this. This is, when you talk about Victory Gardens, this is an old, I don't know if you can see it, Victory Garden cookbook from the 1930s. Better meal for less, meatless menus for victory. So you'll appreciate this, Aiden, and any other vegetarians, but it's the whole thing from the 30s about the Victory Gardens. And yeah. I'll bring it to Biomutation Show too.
That's awesome.
So, thank you all. It was
Yeah,
great.
thank you all, and we'll be in touch. And I'm so excited for what's gonna come next.
That's my Boulder.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks so much. It was really awesome to be part of this call. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it's so cool to see like heaps of people out there with the same vision, and like helping each other, and willing and inspired, and so many young people, older people. It's really cool. So yeah, thanks so much. I'm really glad to be part of this.
I'm glad that you could make it. It's so cool to have people from all over the world, like New Zealand, Wales, Canada,
Yeah, it is.
US. It's like very exciting. Malaysia. Oh my gosh, we're everywhere, guys. We're everywhere. This is
We'll be in
awesome.
Kingston next time, I think. So, but we'll have a little Canadian force there. But
Cool. All right. Well, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful morning, night, or evening, or afternoon, wherever you are.
I would say night, but it's the morning for me now.
Oh, yeah, it's probably after. You're such a trooper staying up so late to be on this call. So thank you. All right. I hope you
thank
all
you.
have
It's nice
a
seeing you,
great-
Rachel, too.
Bye. And I put my
It's great
email
to
in the chat
see you guys.
if anyone wants to contact me.
Thank you.